Okay. Hello guys, we're here again. The game is going to be starting on time, it looks like. We're waiting for one more player for EnemyGG. So I just thought I would check mic levels and see how my wonderful Canadian's doing. Moppax, what's up, man?
Oh, not too much, you know.
There we go. Your new mic is pretty good. Let's give the audience your dulcet tones. Oh, hello?
Oh, we're back. We're back in it.
There we go. Okay.
What happened there? Okay. No, my holidays are good.
Something interesting happened there. Just try talking for a bit.
Talk about all the wonderful things we're going to see at EnemyGG versus Complexity Gaming. The spoiler alert, guys, we've got Lumdum in the lobby. Sitting there, doing his thing, you know. Mr. former PL spammer himself. I'm not sure what he does these days. I did sneak a little peek. Looks like he's been spamming quite a bit of Lich, so I'm not sure who he's going to be replacing. Stand in for somebody today.
Lich, you say? Interesting.
I mean, I hopped on his Dota buff, and now, mind you, it hasn't been updated in a little while. He might have been gone covert on a Smurf or something, but prior to that, he was like, I don't know. He had 3 games on other heroes in his past, like 15 or something. He's been playing a lot of Lich. He's a dirty, and he's been winning a lot.
Oh,
a lot of Lich wins.
Is he one of those phase boots Lich people, like 1437? Oh, really? It's just an NA thing, I'm sure. Like, I've never seen that before I saw it hit from him.
Yeah, no, there's some phase boots, lots of rods of Atos, some Blads. He's got arcane boots.
Yeah, forget about the mech, forget about the 4-staff.
Boots of travel, not arcanes, don't be ridiculous. Oh, he's got 1 mech, still went phase boots though. What a guy. Even got a moon shard just to top it off.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I think we're pretty good. So, yeah, for those of you guys that didn't figure it out, the schedule was changed just before Christmas, I think. It was meant to be DC playing tonight, but it's Complexity against EnemyGG first up in about 5 minutes' time, hopefully. And then Leviathan against EnemyGG will come up straight after that. Tomorrow is the DC versus EnemyGG. Their name, actually. I'm just going to have to call them Enemy or something. That's what they shortened it down to. But yeah, DC against Enemy tomorrow at the same time, midnight start CET. And then Leviathan against Elite Wolves. And then we continue for a good couple of days, actually. We've got 28th through 31st all booked up. And then we have a little bit of a break. So NA qualifiers should get themselves pretty nicely, well, mostly resolved until we come back after the new year when we'll finish that one off. But have you seen EnemyGG play at all? Because they are completely new to me.
I've caught, there's like 3 of them, I believe, play on the Team USA for one of those cups, that cup that's going on, like that World Cup thing. So like, I'm not sure exactly, it's BSJ Frozen and plus 1 other. So they played a lot. Other than that, they only have, it's like 8 games together or something. 10 games so far ticketed as an actual squad. So not too much, just a few NA games, not today, T-Show, playing around a little bit. So they got a lot to prove. We'll leave it at that, I guess.
Now, there is a player on their team that I, as an Englishman, my accent makes his name sound a little bit funny. Because, you know, Capitalist doesn't have this problem. Toby doesn't really have the problem. When they say, you know, Banana Slam Jammer, it just rolls out of their mouth. For me, right, it's a little bit awkward when I say Banana Slam Jammer, you know? It's, the banana doesn't really flow with it. So I might just have to call him BSJ or something, or else I'll look like, or sound like an idiot in most of the game. Banana Slam Jammer. Okay.
I'll slam the bananas for you, don't worry, man.
Kinky. Damn, okay. Well, there we go, there we have it. The Canadian who loves
Lumdum's in the game, so... yeah.
Is that what he's called himself? Burning Siler Jammer? Okay.
It's pretty comical.
There we go. Right, looks like levels are good. We'll go away for a couple of minutes. We should be starting in like 2 or 3 minutes. EnemyGG will get their final player in. Myself, Durka, with Motpax tonight. And, yeah, we'll get things underway in a couple of minutes, guys.
so good. But you push me away time and again. You said there's too much to comprehend. Keep on working and working and working and working on it. Keep on working and working.
E-Gaming Bets. We accept bets on computer games online since 2011. Referral system for regular users and the first deposit bonus. Gaming devices store and the best choice of payment systems. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, Counter-Strike and StarCraft, World of Tanks and League of Legends. EGB.com. You know for sure who's going to win.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck. What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!
Hello guys, we're back in the middle of the holiday season. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Christmas and are having a good bit of time off from work or school or whatever you guys get up to. But before New Year's, we have some games to play. DotaPit NA qualifiers. I mean, we're getting into things. We had one series the other night. Complexity defeated E-Wolves. And now we're going to get into some Complexity games again. Up against EnemyGG tonight. Later on, EnemyGG take on Leviathan. But let's get stuck into this one. Draft is decently progressed. Get through the ads and things like that. Gotta really get into stuff now. My co-caster tonight, Moppax. Take a look. Invoke a first pick. No big surprises really now, huh?
No. So far, I did take a look over the EnemyGG drafts. I haven't caught any of their games, but they are prioritizing the Invoker whenever they have first pick. Not a surprise. They'll always leave it in the pool. I think most teams would go for that right now. A little bit surprised they grabbed the Spirit Breaker early. That says to me it's probably going to be a 4 role, because from what I've seen from the drafts, they really don't prioritize the off lane at all. Almost always picked up second or like second phase or even last, because they've been picking Clockwork, Abaddon, like all kinds of various heroes. I don't think they're too concerned. Whereas Complexity, I would say it's like their #1 concern. Every time I watch them, if they can get that Darkseer in the first phase, they absolutely love it. They always try and get a really good hero for Swindles. Maybe it's because he's the captain or whatever. He's just like, oh, sorry guys, taking control of this one. But no, he loves that Darkseer. So far, looking very good for Complexity in the draft. I'll be interested to see what they want to go for here with EnemyGG as we see the BSJ Ursa banned out.
I mean, they banned out Phantom Lance themselves. BSJ, the best PL player in the world. He's actually banning it and not letting himself get it. But talking about sort of drafting bias, I mean, I've seen this a fair bit, and I know I've definitely been a culprit when I used to play mid, 5k scrub gaming, playing some scrims with some mates and stuff like that. So I was sitting there thinking, right, team, what should I ban? And, team speaks silent. They're just like, yeah, I'll ban whatever, let's just have a bit of fun. So I'm just like, ban Queen of Pain, ban TA, ban Shadow Fiend, and I realized after, I don't know, 4 or 5 games or something, I've just been banning mid-heroes the entire draft. I don't care about anything else. I'm just banning things that I don't like. Now, obviously, in higher tier games, there's less and less of that bias, but there's always some. There's always some there where you're like, in the back of your head, I want a hero that I'm really comfortable on as a drafter, and if I can have that confidence in play, it'll then have a knock-on effect and give morale to the team. There's definitely something behind that. Now, EnemyGG, Invoker, Spirit Breaker, I think we might see the Sunstrike Invoker again. We've had this combo. Did we have it the other night in the eWolves Complexity game? We did, right?
Yeah, that was a while ago. But yeah, that was glorious. All those charges into Sunstrikes.
Charge into Sunstrike. Now, Doom. Okay. Bring in the Doom back, are we? Well, Complexity, they've got the Templar Assassin, Darkseer. They've got tons of ways to charge people down. Surge, Snowball, trap people in with the shards. And Invoker, even though he does have that alacrity, even though TA's refraction got changed, so you can see when her refraction is still up, and obviously then when it's about to wear off, I think with the shard block here, TA should have a decent time, actually focusing down the Invoker.
5 seconds remaining.
I wonder if they're gonna grab that Lich right now. It seems
Lich?
pretty good.
Lich Doom?
We know Lunum's been spamming it. Lich Doom. And that definitely does open up the Spirit Breaker as like a 4 roll too.
See, I was just wondering actually, could you put Doom in the 1 spot?
Oh, you always can. It's one of the better parts about him. Maybe he got nerfed a little bit, but he still has a little bit of mystique when it comes to the draft. But man, they gotta choose soon, as we are running low on the time here.
Yeah,
10 seconds
running through it pretty quickly. Now the other bands, Oracle, fair enough, annoying as all hell, and against the Darkseer, purging all that crap off. Okay, wow, well, that takes that out of our hands completely. There's not going to be a Doom 1 roll. It's going to be the Spirit Breaker probably charging around and creating a few openings here for Invoker to get these Sunstrikes out. But I kind of like it. Lich ban would be pretty good here. Lich Doom dual lane. Slark does decently against Darkseer, but he would like to have that, level 1 to 3 kind of harass and safeguarding on that safe lane. Just get him up to level 3, and then you can kind of deal with the Iron Shell illusions and spam through with Dark Pact, get him to level 6 a bit faster.
Yep. It's also a pretty well-known BSJ hero, of course, just like the PL. And with a lot of his heroes already banned out, maybe noticing his pool is definitely starting to dwindle down right now and just want to get something locked in. Now, the Viper was still available, which is actually something that they did have him running before. So might have been an option here. I guess they just don't want to opt for that early of a game. I mean, could have probably fit it in possibly. That doesn't mean safe lane Viper, but with BSJ having done it, it could be kind of nice up against the Templar Assassin. However, that will not be the case here. Last ban here. I feel like he just banned the Lich just because. Just a decent hero. Kind of a nice little combo breaker versus the Darkseer, but you might also be looking for a little bit more damage over time. Although you're right, the Slark with the Dark Pact as well as the Scorched Earth already doing pretty good in that department. And maybe an Urn from an Invoker. So they'll get rid of the AA, which is surprised he actually made it this far. Been prioritized pretty heavily in a lot of drafts lately.
I mean, if you combine up Spirit Breaker, AA, Invoker, your global presence is just freaking insane, honestly. Now, what are Complexity looking for? That's my big question. I know that Chessie and Limp, they swap roles from time to time. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be a Limp Templar Assassin and have Chessie on something a little bit different. But I want a ranged carry here for them. Yeah, the Razor's a really good ban, I feel. I really want like a ranged Agi carry for them, just to kind of have that flow of the team fight going. You don't want 3 3 melee guys running in with a snowball into the middle of Slark, Invoker, Spirit Breaker with the Meatball Deafening Blast combination.
What about possibility of like a Queen of Pain maybe into? I don't think they've run it safe lane for Chessie that I know of, but it is something we've seen a couple teams go towards just into the safe lane. Like, we've already got the TA for some heavy physical damage. She's pretty decent up against the Slark as well, because she can hit him during Dark Pact, or rather during the Shadow Dance as well, which is very nice. Obviously with both the Sonic Wave and the Screams.
It's a little awkward against Doom though.
Of course, I mean everything isn't everything though.
Yeah, I guess.
But I know what you mean.
Everything's super awkward against Doom.
He's not exactly the easiest one to deal with though, so maybe they'll go for something a little bit crazier.
Bring back the
like
Morphling.
The Morphling, the Luna is still in the pool if they want to opt for something like that. I don't know. I wouldn't even, if this was last patch, I'd say maybe SF, but can you just go ranged and go for something like a Wraith King or something like that? Deal with the Doom.
Bring out the Lone Druid.
Just go for the melee.
Bring out the Lone Druid. Let's see it. Come on, boys. Get it on. Let's have the Lone Druid for you. That's what we want to see.
You know what they have done? They have done Chessie Broodmother before. When they do that, though, they usually go for something like they'll give Swindle even like they'll use like a mid. They gave him SF the last time. They gave him that. So
there you go. Good call. Good call.
Thank you.
Still got it.
Oh yeah. Easy gaming.
So, EnemyGG. What have you been thinking about this entire time? Because Complexity, they took their sweet time picking that quap up. Still got, the Lich we've been kind of looking at and thinking that's a really, really good pick here. Witch Doctor, Rubik. There's plenty of good old heroes out there. If they want something to add maybe to their pushing strength, a Jakiro couldn't be too awful. And it's good. The trouble is, it's like the hard 5 they've got to pick now. So it's not something you can really put into a position and rely on getting items. They just got to rely on their skill set the majority of the time. There's the Rubik. One of the better ones. Like Rubik Witch Doctor, yeah.
Yep. No, that's good. A little bit versatile hero. He can do well with minimal farm. Like some people say, as long as you get 6, like you can do pretty well in terms of a good Rubik player. But again, he can also scale well if you start to get a nice little early lead. And yeah, no, I like it. Good against the Queen of Pain, of course. You get the nice little blink. Can get some pretty sweet snowball saves off as well, as long as you're not going to doom your team with it. And stealing anything from Dazzle's generally going to be good, unless you're going to be actually scaling up the newly improved Shadow Poison, or whatever that thing's called. No one needs to know the name of that spell, so no one cast it.
Which spell? The one on Doom?
No, I was talking about Dazzle's, the Poison Touch.
Poison Touch.
Shadow Poison's Shadow Demon, but that's fine.
What's Doom's new spell? Is like Infernal Blade. Yeah, Infernal Blade.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one, that is. Alright, let's start things off. So yeah, BSJ Slark, Frozen. Actually, TP's up top. He's got himself a Fairy Fire. Fairy Fire Rubik with a little bit of regen there. So Sovereign on the Doom heads towards the offlane. Mango up for him. Roaming Lumdun on the Spirit Breaker with an Orb of Venom already and a Smoke. And we're starting to see this a lot from teams, is buying those level 1 smokes. Not necessarily for like an incursion into enemy jungle or to push heavily into any location. But it's more the fact that you get that timer going. You get the second, the first restock of smoke actually kicking in. And then you can start like stockpiling smokes as the game gets later and later. And it's just that little efficient play. Now they're 50 gold, and you can definitely fit one in very early on. Now, Swindles did get scattered a little bit by the Sunstrike, I think. It was thrown out in a pretty good spot by the Invoker, actually, and he's going to head himself into this Radiant Jungle. But BSJ backs up. Do they have any wards? Yeah, there. Z-Freak's got one. Get that obs down. They're actually heading top to fight, maybe.
I mean, Chessie, he might do the Eternal Envy. The blink and steal the Ruined Worth.
The battle begins.
But, wow, actually, he could have got away with it, too. He actually could have completely got away with it there, but, well, they will hand it right off to Slayer, and then, of course, to Limp as well. So, TA versus Invoker. Be interested to see. From what I can tell, man, this stuff's pretty brutal. This whole Alacrity Invoker business. Not something I want to be up against, and with, of course, as you mentioned, the change to the refraction, it makes a big difference. It's basically whatever the duration of your auto attack is, like the timing to do it, that's how much longer you have now, is they're going to charge Limp just for fast, doing his best Winter Wyvern impression here from them.
That's super annoying, honestly. Straight in there, Limp loses his first refraction. And Loomdun's Spirit Breaker, like, I really enjoy Spirit Breaker now in the 4 role, moving off from the off lane or in that 3 spot. Just the fact that he's kind of awkward in the off lane to some extent. Because you're thinking, okay, I can charge mid, I can get this, you know, starting to get these pickoffs towards middle lane, harass and be annoying. But then if you're in the off lane, you're like, right, I'm missing out on experience. I can't stack, I can't pull, I can't really do anything else a good off laner would. So you often get caught in a situation where you're playing suboptimally from the off lane as a Spirit Breaker. So now he can move into the jungle, stack a little bit for his teammates. If there was a camp to stack, actually. Blocked up nicely by Z-Freak, we saw. And BSJ will actually drag it across the large camp over to the east.
Couple of these little shenanigans going, you know. Got all kinds of new things we gotta try out with some of these newly changed camps, but Sovereign, he's doing okay. He's a Doom, you know. He's getting zoned out. He's only got 1 CS for himself in Handskin, being that annoying little dazzle, of course. Skilling that poison touch. How times have changed.
Oh yeah, I forgot I kept the desert terrain on. It looks pretty nice, honestly. I prefer desert terrain to the regular one.
I can't stand. I don't know where my spots are for warding. I just can't handle it.
Oh really?
I think like my mushrooms are gone, my cracks and the stones are gone. Like I just can't take it, man.
But there's cabbages. There's these little cactuses and stuff around. It's pretty cute.
Cabbages.
Did you see Reflexi's...
Cactus, the desert cabbage.
Reflexy tweeted out and it just cracked me up. He's like, why does the desert have so many cabbages? Like looking towards the bot rune spot and his little cactus things. It's that guy. Reflexy just absolutely cracks me up. So the smoke across from east to west, Loomdun and Frozen. They've still got a good 10 seconds or so left on the smoke, but Limp, bottle full, refraction level 2 ready. He could potentially die here, you know, Invoker level 3. Cold Snap, Alacrity, +1. Whether it be Sunstrike, you know, get the Deafening Blast, Tornado, get your Ice Wall down. Your options are unlimited, really.
What a hero, honestly. Invoker is, he is absolutely terrifying right now, actually. Like, we've seen so many teams prioritizing him in the draft, and I'm hoping for a balance change. I don't want the Zero to get completely murdered like so many do when they end up like this, but I think he's going to try and prove his worth here up against Limp.
Does Limp die here? That's the question. I mean, Slayer, he's got the Deafening Blast. There we go. Fade Bolt to finish. With Invoker's
top lane. Sovereign, they're on top of.
Projectile out. You're right. Sovereign's being chased out. He's got Scorched Earth up and he's healing through, but it's not going to be enough as Hanskin does have that Poison Touch available and he'll tick over that poor little Doom. Meanwhile, down at bottom lane, there was a kill on the Slark, so I didn't miss First Blood, guys. And I know the meme has kind of transferred from Toby to me. Didn't miss First Blood, thanks to Moppax, didn't miss the second kill, but, oh, missing the third one, that's just like, you know, shot to my heart, it's painful.
Ah, well. Well, this dual lane here, of course, the Tusk and the Darkseer, very similar to your Spirit Breaker Darkseer. Slap on some Iron Shells, go have some fun, get right up in their face. Charge or Snowball. Snowball, of course, a little bit better. You get to bring the Darkseer Iron Shell with you. And again, I don't know what you're going to do this hero to get rid of him, but Tusk to me is still extremely powerful right now. I don't feel like the nerf really affected him all too much. It wasn't any of his like saving abilities to me, you know. I feel like those are the things that need to be nerfed, not some Ice Shard damage.
And you can cast, you can still cast Ice Shards from inside Snowball as well.
Oh, yeah.
Which is one of the big things. Now, up at top, they've actually placed a sentry in this large camp, so Doom can't stack and get new creeps from the large camp. Well, they've done it to both, in fact. I see you looking at the one over there. So sentries have been placed across both camps available to the Doom. That does limit his farm somewhat, and if they now focus down on the Spirit Breaker, force him out, the Doom realizes, you know what, guys? I'm going to jungle a little bit now. Heads down into Radiant Jungle, and he's just going to AFK down here until he hits, I don't know, level 4 or 5 or something. He doesn't even have a TP, which is kind of surprising. No TP to get himself back up to top.
I think Loomdum had a, or rather, if you think that Sovereign had a rough time up there, Loomdum's just not going to be much better. Like, it's pretty hard for a Spirit Breaker to soak these days. He hasn't gotten nice one of those little base HP buffs, you know? Everyone else is getting up to 2.5, 3. Oh, here, go be an offlaner. Not Spirit Breaker, though. Still very high in the effective HP, but his regen is still very lacking.
Now, I kind of assumed that Tusk would be spending a little more time towards mid to give the Templar Assassin an easier time, but I like
Iron
this.
Shell with a
Hasted Iron Shell. Oh. Yeah, you're right. Z-Freak goes straight in on the Rubik. Telekinesis is ready, but Frozen just gives up his own life. Keeps on walking, but Z-Freak's a little bit faster.
Oh, man, BSJ just gave him up for dead there, man. There was a lot of time left on the Haster. Maybe he just figured there was no hope.
No hope. Nothing left. Nothing left to give. So, Invoker 23 and 10. He's a good 2 creep waves or so ahead of this Templar Assassin. Obviously, you factor in the death from TA, but they've done nothing really to stop any stacks or ancients being built up here. It's not begun yet for the complexity, but I'm certain it'll start sometime soon. While Swindles, look at this. He's got this jungle camp available to him. So not only is he shoving bot lane, making it difficult for BSJ to actually farm on his lane. And look, he's just standing in the middle of the creep wave. But he's then pulling across, denying creeps, and farming jungle at the same time. So Swindles, 28 for 0. He's having an insane time on his bottom lane.
Yeah, this is pretty much the dream start here for Darkseer. Obviously, beating the mid. Okay, well, now they're tied in terms of last hits and everything. So that's going to really propel him in the mid game. Like, obviously, he's almost certainly going to be the mech buyer. Z-Freak does get pounced on here. There's also a charge. They really want to get something in this bottom lane. There are 4 heroes going to be here in a moment.
Telekinesis back, but the surge is there from Swindles. The brothers looks like they'll get themselves away, but they turn to fight. They're turning to fight. Lumdon charges straight onto Z-Freak, but in comes Chessie. Queen of Pain ready to fight Sovereign. Time to run, time to hide, but the Ice Shards will block you in and finish you off with a double Ion Shell up on that creep, as well as the Darkseer. Now that was 4. That was a rotation of what, 3 heroes down to bot with a Doom plus Spirit Breaker there, Slark and Rubik already available. And Complexity come out on top. Great rotation from Chessie. Now he's level 6. He's actually got the ultimate. He can go look for maybe another little pick-off.
Yeah, I think that's what scared them, because he was just holding it. Like, could have even thrown it out there if he wanted to try and get it, but forced back the Rubik, and they just kind of left Doom to his own devices. And we're just like, sorry, friend, Sovereign. You are going down, but at least he'll head back top. And they're going to put the pressure on BSJ. Bot Sonic Wave, they do snag him up there.
Pressure. Yeah. A little more than pressure. That was really well timed. With a Blink Scream landing as soon as the snowball hit, the Sonic Wave, and damage output to follow. And Swindles just goes back and says, well done, guys. Good job. I'm going to farm some creeps. You guys, leave the lane. I just need some gold here. Mid? What's happening?
So early.
TA traps, use the Rubik. Limp knows exactly what's going on. He just had, time to start stacking Ancients. Is that going? Nice one. I'm still a little awkward on the timings of, like, stacks and pulls and stuff. Everything seems to have shifted, so like, 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
Methinks you wanted that.
Yeah, if you guys don't want to lose some MMR, definitely check out some of those new maps and everything. Everything seems to be 53, or rather 55 now. All the 53 camps have been shifted over. Of course, not on the Dire side, because they all stayed the same for the most part.
Yeah, it's the 2 Radiant camps really that are annoying. Sovereign, you're going to drop here. Scorched Earth will keep you alive for now, and Chessie does have Blink at 7 seconds, but won't follow through on that under the tower, not knowing exactly who's waiting around. Which would have been Frozen's Rubik there. It's just Complexity knowing exactly what they can pull out of this map. Like, the Invoker has been given a good lane. He's gone for the Wex build, so that Tornado EMP will start coming into play in the next 2-3 minutes or so when Slayer looks to rotate a little bit. Has he gone Urn? What's he going for? So Phase with a Null, 1,000 gold as well. I kind of wonder if you still go for the Urn into Orchid build here. We've seen a lot of people liking the Midas Ag still, even on EMP Invoker.
Yeah, we've seen Midas Ags, we've seen quite a few, like you just mentioned, Urn into Orchid, and then even like back to the Eggs, it's kind of a little bit of a mix-up build. Seems to be very popular lately, where it's not all committed to push or anything, or rather like attack damage. And then of course we get your Orchids into ACs and all kinds of fun stuff. So they are, I don't know if they'll be able to get anything here. They're just going to try and deny the tower, it looks like. They could set up something with a Tornado if they wanted, but Darkseer and Tusk, obviously very slippery.
Slark just used his ultimate, and I really don't know why.
Oh, miss key maybe?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm looking at net worth really now. Low. It's like 9 minutes in, I'm looking at net worth, and he is down in the dumps. 1900. There are 4 members of Complexity above him. They're all behind the Invoker, but who cares? Their spread of net worth here is pretty impeccable, honestly. With the TA taking out these stacks, is she going to jump ahead? Looks like she will. Get ahead of that Invoker once these are taken out. And Invoker, speaking of, where is he hiding? Slayer is taking out jungle camps. 1,400 gold saved up. I honestly think Invoker has to buy time here for the Slark and go for like an early kind of battle build and do go for the Urn Orchid. Because if you go for the Midas, that's going to drag things out a little bit and give Complexity the chance to just completely run over you.
Yeah, and that mechanism is actually going to be done here for Swindles. Like whenever he just wants to buy it. And if they want to group up, I don't think as much just he can do. Jesse's almost got this kill frozen up here. Gets the scream. Goes down.
Blink. Hide in the trees. Slayer.
I don't think he lives here.
They'll land it. We'll get themselves a second kill. Charge was coming through from Lumdun, and that blink from Chessie looked like it might have been able to get himself away with a TP, but not quite. Not quite.
Bottom tower
Now, TA, you cleared the stacks. Pretty much. 1,200 gold in the bank. We've seen Limp go for a blink a lot as the first item on Templar Assassin recently. Kind of not going for that Desolator build, which really did become the precedent for TA builds. Go for early aggression, and with Tusk Snowball, Dark Seer Surge, Iron Shell, jumping onto a target like Invoker and just focusing him down can be the make or break factor in a team fight.
Yeah, certainly. Just gotta keep her alive and active, of course. I definitely like Desolator first here. Mechanism already done, Urn already done, Snowball's ready to save. I think you just pound on that damage, get yourself a Roshan early on once you've knocked down like another couple towers. And things are looking extremely good going in the mid-game for Complexity. And you can see that simply by looking at the net worth chart, man. Unbelievable. Like TA, Invoker, and then 3 heroes for Complexity. And ESJ's falling behind even Z-Freak.
Even the Dazzle. Even the Dazzle is doing pretty good with 1,800. You know, he's 400 away from the Doom Shards. Not quite going to trap Frozen in there, but BSJ has used his Dark Pact already. The group up from Complexity, though, is just too strong to break. Tornado get launched out. And Sovereign clears out another jungle camp, but Dire, Warding, and Vision across this Radiant jungle is pretty comprehensive. They can see everything, and they see BSJ right there. He knows they see him with the ultimate. They'll have some inkling that they'll be walking themselves around, but I don't know if they 100% know if Olymp is invis, though. He'll walk himself back and just keep the farm flowing as Slayer's an Invoker. He's going for the Orchid. He skipped over Urn, realizes he needs something to fight, and fight early. So the Orchid's going to be coming up pretty quickly here, and a lot faster than Chessie's one, honestly.
And Z-Freak and Sovereign have a little bit of an encounter here. I don't know, they're going to charge him.
Can they connect, though? I mean, BSJ, your damage output's pretty good with a level 4 Dark Pact, but Z-Freak dodges out now with a Surge bashed up by Lumdun. The Pounce misses, and Z-Freak turns to fight a little bit. Chessie joins in, screams Sonic Wave, and they're going to look for the third. Sovereign, you don't really have a chance to escape, even with the Rubik behind you. He'll try and TP, the Weaver's there, no vacuum, and they've got nothing to stun him up. Z-Freak was still doomed. And even so, a little bit out of range maybe to get that snowball in. Good TP, good awareness from the Doom to get himself out. In the meantime, up at top, Slayer has been given time to farm away and get himself closer and closer to that Orchid, but you can say the same for Limp, and that Blink Dagger's here.
Yeah, he's ready to just go in, so he's kind of just saying... I kind of liked how they approached the tier 1 mid, where they didn't really push for anything, just took the tower, didn't dive even when they had that nice little vision on BSJ. You know, they weren't trying to commit to kills, but now gonna grab the Roshan, put that on top of Limp, and with a DD rune as well, he's just like gonna grab this thing and they're ready to go in. Like, he's gonna blink right on top of these towers, start off the fight, FD8 just to back himself up, and Chessie gonna be able to blink in with another amazing Sonic Wave just like that last one. I'm not sure, like, what do you even do here? Sovereign, the Doom just hasn't even come online. You saw him Doom that Tusk, and it's just like, okay. There's a Dazzle and a mech already ready for me.
Yeah, exactly. This is super reminiscent of Complexity's game against, or series against E-Wolves, where, you know, game number 1 against E-Wolves was okay. You know, Complexity 1, it was a little more balanced, but game number 2 was just like this, where it was systematic destruction and dismantling. Tier 1 after Tier 1, item after item. They just had every single lane absolutely nailed. You know, bot lane was a complete win for Complexity. Dual lane against, you know, defensive dual lane / tri-lane with a Spirit Breaker coming in. Spirit Breaker annoyed the TA, but never really crippled her. And that's what you needed to do, was cripple the Templar Assassin mid and get the Invoker off to a really great start. BSJ scouted. Shards and Snowball will fly, but Z-Freak now with Swindles here. They've got Vacuum back, but who are they going to throw it onto? Onto 3 with a wall there as well. Damage output's good from Limp, but definitely will throw Swindles back a little bit more. Frozen will surely drop as Limp chases down this little Rubik. The rest of Enemy will be able to bail on this, though, and get one. It's a decent amount of expenditure out from Complexity, but they've got Sonic Wave back up in a couple of seconds, actually. And it's another tier 1 for them.
Yeah, just great play due to the vision they have. Being able to see into the enemy jungle, they know they're not there, really. Only one place they're probably going to be. All hanging up there, so they smoke into their own side of the map. Careful of any wards. Obviously, nothing that would have spotted them out. Had this been a little bit further into the jungle up here, maybe there was a chance for that, but just well played, well executed. Moving around the map very fluidly right now, and I mean, you look at BSJ, and what are you gonna do on a Sark? He doesn't even have treads. Are they flying to him right now? Like there, that's his 15-minute item is gonna be treads. Not ideal for your position 1. And Sark is obviously, as we all know, one of those heroes that loves to be ahead. Oh, Slayer in the mid lane, gonna blink on top. Snowball is well stunned up.
Sentry down.
They put the sentry down.
With a punch.
Oh, Jesse
Sonic Wave is there. Oh my goodness, that was almost a calamity.
Couple pump fakes, but
they got
it in the end there.
They got him. Well, Sovereign is raising an army of the dead. He is Bruce Campbell. He just needs a boomstick now to walk himself around in this jungle. BSJ. Back to what you were saying, man. This Slark, you know, you kind of want Treads, Aquila. Oh, bollocks. Radiant's Courier just died. Where was that? Okay, well, that died basically just outside of their base. Z-Freak thought, oh, that's mine. I'll take that. But yeah, Slark likes Treads, Aquila, and then, let's say, Shadowblade or Blink by sort of 16, 17 as kind of a benchmark figure. And then by 21, you want like your first ultimate orb, right?
Right. It's like basically don't mess up. It's like get those 3 key items and then don't blow it. Don't blow your dives. Just get some good kills, keep the snowball going, and even then it can be hard if you mess one of those up. But in a situation like this, I honestly don't even know. He's got a tread or a bracer just to tank up a bit. Sovereign's gonna try and complete some drums here. And I don't know, they're really just gonna have to make some massive plays off of this Orchid of Slayer.
Oh, he nearly had the Orchid actually towards mid. I was looking at his gold and he was getting closer and closer. He was sitting on like 550. Now he's dropped back down again and it's just delayed even further while Complexity, they're rolling in it, honestly. They are absolutely rolling in the money. They take down the final outer tower. And are they still riding on the Aegis? How long until that's gone? About a minute? 2 minutes? Minute and a half? Yeah, about a minute and a half until Aegis is gone. So they say, screw it, we'll go high ground. 16.5 minutes in. We've still got Aegis on the TA. We've got Blink. The Orchid from Invoker is finally ready. But Chessie has his. The MP will piss Limp off a little bit, force him back. But you know what? Guardian Greaves for Swindles. Heals, restores, regenerates. Oh, Hanskin. Nice little warding spot there. Down on this bottom lane.
Double drums. BSJ's actually going to complete them for himself as well.
Oh, on the Radiant. Oh, wow.
Just got to tank up, I guess. Doesn't want to risk it. I mean, honestly, can you really go Shadowblade, though, on BSJ? I'm not even sure. I don't think Blink's the item. I don't think Shadowblade's probably not the item. Like, what's that really going to do against a Siege? So, I can understand. It's a little bit frustrating, and maybe they didn't notice, but at the same time, it's not like you're going to be able to rush straight Scotty either.
Oh, my goodness. Slayer. There's a sentry here. He's going to run out of vision of it. The shards. Yeah, he's dead. See ya. Nice shards are stolen. Good awareness, though. Z-Freak was spamming, pinging out. Oh, he's ghost walked. He's coming. He's coming. Place a couple of sentries and they'll get that kill. But yeah, the big thing is with Slark, if you go for like Shadowblade, usually your plan is sort of split push, pick off from the back, find a support and kill them. But if you look at Complexity, who is the support who's sitting on the back lines? It's a Dazzle. So best case scenario for the Slark is you go to the Dazzle and he graves himself. You're not getting a kill. You're not getting the numbers advantage. While the rest of your team still has to deal with a TA. They jump in onto Sovereign, and my goodness, that damage. Doom, dead, and Frozen gonna fall shortly after. One by one, enemy, they're crumbling, and this tier 3, not long for this world. As Complexity are gonna close out this game pre-20 minutes, it looks like.
Yeah, they tried to make a go on Swindles up top. Loom pinging it out there, told BSJ to come. BSJ kind of hesitated back and forth as he does get jumped on as well with the Wallace Punch and the Melt Strike. Oh my god, BSJ, I am so sorry. I almost made you miss that kill, and Slayer looks like he'll be following as well.
No, I was still looking towards the bottom lane. I saw everything happening. He just got blinked, orchided by Chessie, and the rest of the team followed through. I mean, you've got a Tusk who is level 11 with blink and 3,000 gold. 19 minutes into this game as your 4-roll Tusk. Complexity they've just too much money. I literally don't see a way back into this for Enemy.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, it seems rather unlikely here. Unless Chessie and Limp are going to feed a little bit more with their 1 death each. No, it looks like they'll just call the game. So.
It's pretty much over, honestly, man. Complexity 15-2. EnemyGG. Well, maybe next time. Maybe next time. So, game number 1. Complexity take that one. 2-game series in this group stage for the NA qualifiers. We'll get ourselves into game number 2 shortly, guys, and let's let's see some more hustle from Enemy, I think. BSJ giving the Phantom Lancer, something like that, because this Slark, the lanes just didn't work out.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
It's not the
Like that
Slark, it's
bot
like the
lane.
Slark and the Doom and the Invoker. It was,
And the Spirit Breaker, like, just way too greedy against a Darkseer Tusk. Like, you know they're going to be in your face, and the heroes they drafted just simply cannot deal with that. Especially if, like, Dazzle even had wanted to show up down bottom. Like, what if it was a Queen of Pain solo top? They would have been even more crushed, honestly. But they didn't even need to throw down the Dazzle because that lane was so weak on bot. So, hopefully their bot lane won't be so shit next game.
please! Please! On my screen! On my screen! He's just freaking dead. Well, we'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys, with game number 2. Don't go anywhere. DotaPit Season 4 by G2A.